Sorry about that, guys. I think it's because I had studio mode on, so it was running two processes at once. So we're gonna do it without studio mode. We're just gonna do it live. Um, Here's to hoping my PC doesn't blow up again. But first, let's go over the recap. Week one recap. We're going to talk about how all the week one games shook up. We're going to talk about the pick'ems from week one. We are going to then go into standings after week one. We will do our predictions for week two, and the gracious Chris will pick all those up for us and give them to us in a file for me because he is so sweet. I love you, Chris. You guys are going hard with all the bits. Holy shit. Space guy, relax, my guy. But I mean, like, you can give us more bits, but like maybe relax with the one drops, and then we'll open it up to Q&A at the end. Y'all are still goaded for the sub and the bits. We are at almost a hype train level 3, so guys, we get some rewards if you guys keep subbing. So, alrighty. Here is to hoping that we don't blow up my computer for a third time in 10 minutes. Are you ready? I'm so afraid. I am so afraid right now. Woo! Oh, oh, let's go! We're alive! Alrighty. So, first off, we're going to talk about Sizzle versus C1. I don't have anything to put on screen right now just because I want to let you guys know all those games got moved to their best of 3 match got moved to Sunday. Neither team could show up to any times, so we thought it instead of having a week 1 forfeit or draw for either team, we would just push it to Sunday. So both teams will play 2 games this weekend. So that is one game we are waiting on for week 1. Going forward, I believe we're going to talk about Vibing Out versus SBB, which will be for. Yes. My question is, are you more in the camp of Vibing Out was good, or should Boing Boing drop the balls, or was not it? Because I'm in the camp that they were both playing really well, and Vibing Out was just slightly better. Because there were some insane moments, especially by like. There's some insane moments, especially by Q right there. Like that was insane right there. 1 second. It says that you're muted. Alrighty. Talk again for me, Mech. No, dude. Let me add your caster cam here, and I can do that. Yeah. Let me ask you out. 1 second. I haven't added it yet. 1 second. 1 second. I'm trying to fix it. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to fix it. Un momento por favor. Oh, Mech. Can you talk for me now, Mech? You were on the screen for a moment. Talk for me. Alrighty, there you go. Everyone can hear you now. Yeah, okay. Everyone, rewind. Hold on. Alrighty, go. I don't believe that you guys can't hear it. I don't believe that you guys can't hear it. Because it's literally showing that it's sending the audio for you right now. What? What is going on? Dude, we've never had this issue. It literally, so when you talk right now, Mech, it is showing you as talking on my end, but it is not. Keep talking, Mech. I just need you to keep talking. No, it's still not working. I don't understand. What is not working? Alrighty. I don't want to unlive again. Hold on. You guys really can't hear Mech? Okay, keep talking, Mech.
Okie dokie, artichoke, okie dokie, artichoke, okie dokie, okie dokie, okie dokie. Oh, I can hear myself.
All right.
Wait,
I
am
don't
I
know
back?
I don't know what I changed, but there you go. Jesus Christ. Alrighty. Lotus
Uh,
recap.
hello,
God
hello, hello.
dang.
Okay, okay. I think we're good to go. I think we're good to go.
I am so
All right.
sorry, guys. This is
So,
embarrassing. This
so
is so
for the
embarrassing.
third time, yeah. So game one was Vibing Out versus Boing Boing. It was a 2-0 win in place of Vibing Out. It was 13-6 for Lotus, and Vibing Out looked really well. They had a lot of great rounds, a lot of stellar performances from players like Wi-Fi, Adapt, Q, and it was just super. Yo, Prometheus, are you being serious? Wait. Okay, no, they're messing with me. I'm so sorry about that. Anyways, and they just looked super, super well. And then when you go to Haven, it was 13-8, and it was still just beautiful performances all around. I mean, definitely Shaboing Boing came back a little bit, maybe taking a few more rounds, but overall, I definitely think that the reason Vibing Out won this game in such convincing fashion is because they're a team that you just can't sleep on, and they're a team that you just don't. Everyone kind of expected to be 1-7, 2-6, not do that good, but we're here to say, and Vibing Out is here to have the vibes. So that's definitely why I think they won, and I definitely am excited to watch them in the future weeks. First of
Alrighty.
Boing Boing, I do think that there are some hope. I do think there's some promise there. I just think that there was way too many singular mistakes from their players, and if they can clean that up, then you can't sleep on them either. Definitely in a few weeks, maybe if they play in the playoffs again, it could be anyone's game.
For me, I'm in the camp that they both played really well. They were both had some insane like team play and some mechanics, and I'd like to see how they grow in the future. It was definitely teams that I wasn't prepared for to be as good as they were. I think that they're definitely in the top half, but it depends on them on how far they can take it this season.
That one.
Um, I would love to see Vibin out or Sheboygan make playoffs. Really depends on them though. They control their own destiny at this point.
Best game.
Alrighty.
Sorry,
We're going on to Mob versus Horizon. This
Oh wait!
was
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Really quick, really quick.
yes,
This is my fault. Is the MVP of the match? I forgot to talk about that. The MVP of that match was Wi-Fi. He absolutely popped off, and he was amazing.
that's
We'll get
true.
more into
That
that
is
in the
very
next one.
true. Wi-Fi was killing it. I think we had some Wi-Fi fans in the chat after that game.
Oh
Alrighty.
yeah, 100%.
2-0 for EH over Mob. This Sunset was a map that Event Horizon has literally never practiced. And we also had a new player. So I think that just goes to show, even on a map that we don't know, Event Horizon is absolutely fucking dangerous. And I think ST Mob deserves some props. I don't think anyone realized how good they were going into the season. And honestly, I'm ashamed that we put them so low on our power rankings. Um, they deserve some respect. I think both teams coming out of the series deserve a lot of respect here. I had Lamb telling me how CG had a lot of respect for them, so we should definitely respect them too. On top of that, I want to see more of them on stream. I think Pitor would be amazing to watch, get some more moments of. Saul's amazing player. I want to see more of him. But it will come to, the season will show us how the rest of the season will show us how these teams end up, where they end up in playoffs, if they make playoffs or not. And I'm just excited. And thoughts on map one or map two here for Event Horizon and ST Mob?
For me, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of am in the same boat as you, where I kind of expected EH to just absolutely wipe the floor. And after that first game, I was like, could Mob maybe take the series? And they definitely played a lot better than I expected them to. Obviously, EH was still the better team overall, but I'm excited to watch Mob play a few more matches. I think against a few other teams in the league that aren't top five like EH, they definitely could put up some crazy numbers.
I definitely think that Mob is going to have a really good record by the end of the season. I just don't know how tight the Cronus division is going to be. That if this one win is gonna affect them at all, and if they're gonna have to go through plans. But I definitely expect to see them in playoffs. If so, we'll have to see there. Going on next is going to be Cataclysm versus Comic Club Esports. This went to 3 maps. This was a great series here. Give me your thoughts on it.
So for Cataclysm, man, this was I'd be one to say that this probably was match of the week in my opinion. I mean, we had what
Definitely agree. Definitely
two
agree.
OTs, split Lotus Ascent, 3 good maps. Both teams played super solid. They both could make it very far in this league. And honestly, the only reason I think Comet lost is just by that third map. They looked at a stamina. Plays were getting sloppy. Players were going for just not the best plays. And overall, I think if they would just had a little better stamina, if
I
they
think
just
if they
could have
had
waited
won
out a
map
little
one
longer.
split, if they had won map one, I guarantee that they would have still won map two. If
Yeah,
they
no,
had
I
like
agree.
if they had won that overtime, like we'd be talking about how CCE pulled up the up or CEC pulled up the upset of the century, and we'd be talking about them being one of the best teams in the league. I still think they're really high up there. Don't get me wrong, but they definitely looked like they needed the best of three experience.
No, I completely agree. And then my match of the MP was Grimar. Grimar absolutely showed out all 3 match. He was playing amazingly, and he definitely deserves it in my book.
For sure, for sure. Caught me when I was taking a drink there.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Sorry about
You're
that.
good. Next, we don't have any clips for this game. It was X Gain versus Rise Academy. So game one, really tight game. Vantic popped off. If you were in this game, I want you guys to submit any game this week, and you have clips from your POV. Please submit them in to our Discord. We want to use so many clips for TikTok, Twitter, possibly Instagram. So make sure you give us those clips. We have some interesting things in the works, and the more that you guys submit from your end, even if we miss it on stream, the more we will get for our socials, and the more we'll be able to grow. And sort of piggybacking on that before I get back to the game, every time you guys interact with a post, it gives us more and more opportunity to keep going for future seasons. So if you guys want to keep this going, you're already having fun in week one, make sure you guys are blowing up the socials. Interact every chance you can. Yes, I'm a sellout. I know. But it's true. If this is how we get advertisers, this is how we fund the league, and this is how we'll continue going in the future. So make sure you do that. Back to it. It was a tight map one for X Kane over Rise Academy. Definitely an outcome that was shocking to a lot. Um, I will say I think I picked this one right though in my predictions, which is crazy because I did know X Kane was good. I didn't know that they were this good. Um, I think Valix was absolutely a demon in this game. I saw a clip or two. Definitely X Kane deserves some respect here. Let's pull map 2 real quick so everyone can take a peek at this. This was a 13-6. Valix once again towards the top, only 1 kill less than his kill leader, which was Aiden. Playing Cypher and having people run into your cages most definitely helps. But I really want to see them on a stream. I want to see both of these teams on a stream so we can get more of it going. Any thoughts on this game?
I honestly don't have too much, as you said that they weren't streamed this week, so I'm not too much from just what I'm looking at when it comes to the maps that they played and the maps that they played and the scores. It kind of just looks like it might have been an aim diff on Breeze. They got destroyed on Ascent. It was a close map, which is a little more strat heavy. So who knows what we could see in the upcoming weeks? But we definitely need a little more film on them.
Alrighty,
But
next
just gonna
is
spitball into that. The other team the next match that we do have is Astra vs Rise, and this was one of the few matches this week that you kind of knew was gonna happen, and it didn't surprise you.
but
2-0 Rise,
the outcome felt set.
yeah.
One thing I want to question is the pick of Breeze. This one had me and a lot of other people confused in chat. Breeze is a great map. Don't get me wrong; you get a lot of amazing moments, but when you're mechanically um, weaker than another team, you usually want to avoid this map because this map is so strong on the fundamentals and like just raw aim that you usually don't want to pick it against teams that are mostly aimers like Rise. So questionable pick there. I guess that is why we saw such a big score line for map one. But go on. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, you're good. As you said, it was a 13-0 on Breeze, and Rise looked absolutely amazing on Breeze. On Bind, they trolled a little bit. It was 4-4, 5-5 at one point. We had players like actually Despair and Giraffe who had amazing rounds to maybe make you think maybe Astra is here to stay. Maybe they're not going to get absolutely swept. But then Rise decided that they weren't going to lose the game, and they absolutely just popped off. The MVP of the match was Zaj, and I think Rise is going to keep this up. And Astro, man, I want to give a few words to Astra. I mean, they picked Breeze, as you were talking about. It was a little questionable. Maybe they thought that Rise wasn't as good, or maybe they had a few strats out there that just didn't work out for them. But, I mean, they did take a few runs on Bind, so maybe with some better strat planning, some better strat peeking, and map picking, we never know what you could see. I mean, I do think that there's some hope.
I do think that there is cadence to those 6 rounds. I like I said, I really do like Astro, like the group. I'm close to a lot of their staff members, but there were times that like this round right you're seeing on screen right now, they clearly weren't trying there, and it was one of their few rounds. Like there's just like there's some of the rounds that Astro actually won was Rise 360 no scoping off ledges to try and kill people with the op. So it's just definitely some improvement needs to be had. Maybe not have a sick IGL would help. I know their IGL coach was sick. I do know they have some roster changes coming soon, so maybe that'll fix some of these ailments. But for now, that's kind of just where we're at for that game. Going into the next one is going to be Hollow Gaming versus Atlas. So I'm going to be the only one talking here. Mech has been censored by Pulsar. I'm sure we have the blue tape. Do you have the blue tape? Let's see.
I do not, unfortunately.
Oh! You didn't have the tape ready! Okay. Back to the video. Alrighty. But it was, for the most part, pretty one-sided. Hollow Gaming looked dominant. Atlas was struggling. Frankly, it just looked like Atlas was very fragmented. And I think Hollow Gaming is good. I don't think they're that good, though. I think that they caught Atlas on a bad day or where they were trying to implement something new and they weren't quite ready. I don't expect to see Atlas playing like that again, and I don't expect Hollow Gaming to win another game that convincingly. I think the score at the end of the day was 13-3 for one map and 13-5 or 6 for the other map. I just don't expect to see that again. That was a very dominant performance for a team that I think, frankly, still needs to prove themselves. Though there were some interesting moments. This one, great moment from Nades Nation. This is one of their few rounds they pulled off. This one was a really good moment. Great Twitter clip, got good engagement. But yeah, that's all I have to say for that map. Next, we are up to Full Tilt versus Hijinks, and Mech, you can take us away.
All right, so honestly, Full Tilt for versus Hijinks at first looked like it was gonna be maybe an upset for Hijinks against Full Tilt. It was Breeze 13-7 they won, but then after that, I mean, Full Tilt was kind of like, okay, we're gonna take the first map easy. It's Breeze, we don't really care. Then once they lost, they're like, all right, we got to turn it on, and they absolutely smoked Hijinks, winning 13-2, then 13-0 on Split and Descent. Full Tilt really just woke up, came out of nowhere, and Hijinks had really no answers. And I don't know if that just means that Full Tilt is really bad on Breeze. I don't know if that means Hijinks is really good on Breeze. But I do know that Full Tilt was just the better team, and they showed it after map one. I mean, this might be a snub, but I'm actually going to give the MVP to Acelogix over one of the other players who was absolutely, it was their duelist. I'm blanking on the name right now. I'm very sorry, but Acelogix was their initiator, and he played great all three maps. So that's just why I wanted to give it to him. But yeah, I don't know if Hijinks is going to keep this kind of slow performance up of winning one map and then being absolutely just shat on after that or what. But we will see it in the upcoming weeks.
Yep, and I don't have much more to add for that. I didn't expect the series to turn out the way it did once map one was over. I just need to see more from both teams. That's kind of where I am. Going on to Lag versus Purpose Gaming. Lag, great addition to the league. They picked up somebody else's spot, came in literally less than 24 hours later, and played a really good game. Purpose Gaming, frankly, was a little shocking how little they did. I'm pretty sure they only won 6 rounds over 2 maps, if I'm not mistaken. Um, you know, maybe it was just because they were preparing for one team and going for another team, but that's just kind of where we're at right now. I don't have much more to add besides maybe Lag deserves a little bit more respect. And I think the Lag versus PhysX game next week will be a great game.
So speaking of physics, we are just gonna hop right into the next game, which was physics versus NBT. And man, this was a series. Well, it was a series. Let me rewind. We're on Lotus. The score is what was it? I don't even know, but it was not looking good for MPT at all. And then they came back and won the game 11-13. And you were like, man, MVP might be a good team. They might be looking good. And then Physics absolutely shut that down. They won Ascent 13-4, and then they closed it out on Haven 13-7. And MPT definitely showed some promise on Lotus. They showed some promise even on Ascent and Haven, but they had a new player that they just picked up. His name is Sai. He's a really good player, really talented. Looks like there was just some gelling issues there. And once they figured that out, I think they'll be a great team. But all credit due, of course, to Physics, who looked really well after that first map, after giving it up, and they kind of just, yeah, they really just did not. They looked super good, but I definitely need to see a little more from them overall.
They
I definitely
looked
think
like
they
at
have promise.
times they were playing ranked and not playing Valorant competitive play. I will say, um, on Ascent and on Haven at some points, it did feel like they were about to come back into the game. There may be like one or two fights away from having a way better scoreline, but they definitely just probably need to do a little bit more like pre-map work on the map, like watch pro VOD, get ready for the pro lineup, stuff like that. Um, I don't really have anything else to add. I think MBT has a shot to be a good team and make playoffs, but they
Oh,
need
I actually
to
do have one more thing to add
definitely.
when you're
Oh
done.
yes,
I forgot
they
my
do need to work on their map knowledge because they clearly were struggling in some departments for map awareness.
So the quick MVT here, another questionable pick on my part is going to be Manny X, who absolutely just came to shine those last two maps. Struggled a little the first game, but overall played great. So Manny X is going to be the MVT or the MVP of the game for that one.
Interesting
But
pick.
anyways,
Interesting
continuing
pick.
on.
We're going on to
Shields for
Tedward
Ted, but
versus
they're gonna be
Astro.
picking up. Orange was good for a couple.
This
He's gonna get one. He's gonna get two. He's looking for sideways eight here. The blind goes out. He's gonna get sideways eight as well. That's a 3K. But Sev Zara, he can actually catch him off guard with that stun, and that's true. Teddy's gonna push up, trying to get that push up, and Howard's gonna stop Sev Zara. Nice flash from him, trying to push up back, trying to survive for longer. But Flavor's gonna, you know.
Oh, you didn't,
And,
you didn't get the clip for
not enough,
Tedward.
because answer.
Alrighty, there we go. W caster. Sorry. I really, at some points, you really thought that Astro F8 was going to run away with this game, but Tedward locked up, and they clutched up and did what they needed to keep themselves in the game and win the series convincingly. Especially looking at this next, I believe next map was dominant. once again, I think Astro started off strong in the first 4 rounds. I think it was 2-2, and then they just kind of fell apart. So definitely some positives for Astro, but not the unexpected outcome.
Yeah, no, I don't got much else to say about that. You summed it up pretty nicely. I do think that Astro F8 will definitely look better in the upcoming weeks, but there's just too many mistakes.
Going on to the next game.
So yeah, sorry about that. On the next game is going to be Nade Nation Valve versus Sirens, and I mean, damn, there's nothing else I can say besides Nade Nation absolutely came out swinging, and Sirens forgot they were even playing. First game was 13-3. Second game was 13-3. Lotus and Bind. Nade Nation absolutely just came to show out. They really wanted to show that they were here to just win and just come out of the gate and just really just show what they're about. And Sirens just kind of fell asleep. There was no one there. No one really came out. No one really popped out, in my opinion. They all kind of just sat back and let themselves lose. So I definitely want to see them play a lot better in the upcoming weeks. And for Nades, I mean, you can't get much better than this besides maybe a 13-0 or two. So I definitely am excited to see them in the upcoming weeks as well. For the MVP of this match, it is going to be Vancy, and that's just kind of where we're going with that. I mean, the duelists played great, and not much more you can say.
For this next series, it's going to be First Class versus New Mexico State University. It was a 2-1. Honestly, I was shocked. I don't think I expected New Mexico State to be as good as they did. Definitely on my part for not doing enough research on them. But I think First Class is definitely one of the higher end teams in the league, and frankly, going 2-1 against them, they didn't look awful, but they didn't look amazing. They have some stuff to work on, but like I said, they did take it to a map 3. That's the important part. And I'm just excited to see where New Mexico State takes us. Definitely need to work on their ascent, though. Their ascent was the worst map of the day for them. They finished that 13-4, lost that. I will say I want to see maybe full First Class make it to playoffs. I feel like they would be a really fun team to watch in playoffs from watching our show match, and now we see them win a real match in very convincing fashion.
Yeah, no, not much else to say there. I think you once again summed it up really well. Moving on from that, we do have next up, it's going to be Thugs versus Poseidon, and this was another one of those matches where we kind of all knew that Thugs was absolutely going to roll Poseidon. I do think there was some rounds of hope for Poseidon. I actually got to sit in and watch on this game, and there was a lot of rounds where it was 2v2, 3v3, and just Poseidon was uncoordinated, and there was a lot of rounds they could have won to make this a lot closer that they just sold, and no discredit to Thugs, obviously, as you know, I think they're number 7 on the power ranking or something like that.
Yep.
They're one of the best teams in the league. And as you can see from this, they won 26-10 overall. They played great. Frog was the MVP. He played absolutely outstanding both games. Nothing you can say about that. But keep your heads up, Poseidon fans. I definitely think that you guys will take a few wins in the next few weeks if you guys can just figure out the small stuff. That's what Valorant is. It's all about figuring out the small stuff. But Thugs just looks great, and I'm excited to watch them play.
On the topic of Thugs, One Frog One is absolutely insane. The way that kid plays is mental. If he keeps putting in work, there's a real potential that kid could go tier 2 or higher. That's why we're doing this league, so he can have that opportunity to show himself off to all these top tier teams and tier 2 teams, and possibly make a push or pull Thugs up to tier 2 with him.
Yeah, no, 100%. I got you.
Going on next was PXG versus Virtuosity. The words do not describe how disappointed I am. I love PXG. I think they have amazing personalities. Banksy is very fun to talk to and to trash talk. I'm glad that they were able to prove us wrong and go 2-0 against Virtuosity. But Virtuosity, honestly, didn't seem great from what we saw on these stats. And they are now going through a roster rebuild after 1 week. Their mentals were not great, and they are rebuilding the roster after less than one game.
A rebuild? Wait, rebuilding?
Yeah, they are basically starting with 3 or 4 new players in T-Bite.
That is
so we will have to see where this takes us. Very disappointed in how that was handled. I think PXG is a very good team. I think there's no shame in losing to them. And I think the fact that they just quit after just getting their roster a week before the season is not a great sign for whoever left or whoever dropped whoever. We don't know the story behind it, but if someone left, that's a shame. Going on to the final game we're going to talk about.
Oh my gosh, don't get me started. I don't even want to get started on this, man. I did so much hyping up for EHGC. I was like, man, I was glazing the heck out of them. I was saying how good they're going to be this year, how they're going to be one of the underdogs, and then they just came out and absolutely got blown out by Ryan, losing 13-3 on their first map. The second map, they lost 5-13, and like once again, no one looked good on that team. Ryan looked beautiful. They came out, they balled out. They played amazingly. JMV, the MVP, or not, I'm sorry, not JMV, Valorant played really good both games. He had players like JMV, Zenitsu, they absolutely destroyed EHGC, and I'm really disappointed because I had a lot of good things. I had a lot of big things. I really thought this was going to be one of the underdogs, one of the teams that were going to come out of nowhere and really show up, and maybe they do it next week, and maybe it's not over yet. Maybe it's just one bad week, but damn. You know what I mean?
I'm going to be honest with you. I think that because these teams are both coached by the same person at one point, and which is my IGL for the men's roster, Tootsie, and the fact that Tootsie made very clear to the reign above to take them extremely seriously and play it out to the end, and they went 110%. I will say, I think EHGC did not play to their normal level of play, and that's fine. We will see them step it up next week, and I'm sure we'll have a fun game with them for their week 2 matchup. Alrighty. That wraps that part up. Back to the casters. Show your beautiful face, Mac.
Am I not here? Wait, hold on. Am I good?
Oh, yes. Yes. Alrighty. So we are going to go on to the pick'ems from last week.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do. Week 1 winner, even with Sizzle and C1 not playing. I had enough of a point differential to take week 1. So we're going to look back at the picks. So week 1, you were correct. Vibing out won. Congratulations. Yeah, I'm glad they won. I don't know if you remember this. I said I would like them to win, but I didn't think it was going to happen.
I do remember that.
Week 2, I was right. I picked X Kane.
Nope.
Against Rise Academy. Let's just say I wasn't super confident in that pick, but I did have some insights to lead me to want that to be true, and it, in fact, was true. Week 3 was Hijinks and Full Tilt Esports. This isn't entirely your fault because we did have Hijinks replace another roster after that podcast was made, but you still believed against Full Tilt, and
that was a mistake
thus,
on my part.
Your punishment has been levied.
Yeah.
And then the next 3 we agreed on. We were right for 2 and wrong for 1. We were wrong about Virtuosity. PXG took that game. Event Horizon and the Rise main team took their games. And then I voted for Hollowed Gaming. You voted for Atlas. Obviously, Hollowed Gaming had a very strong showing against them, but we will need to see more from Hollowed Gaming. I think Atlas was on a bad week. It looked like they were very fragmented and playing ranked, not playing a scrim. Going further than that, we have the C1 and Sizzle game. Don't have that.
Wait, hold on.
It is. I had 12 points. And Mech had 8.
Yeah, so I'm 8-8 right now, and he is 12-4.
Yeah. And then, like I said, C1 and Sizzle. We'll see that on Sunday. That'll affect that'll affect the overall standings, but I did technically win week 1. And then it was Purpose Gaming and Lag. I picked a different team that wasn't Lag because Lag replaced their team 24 hours before they played their game. Though I did think that Purpose was maybe rated slightly too high on our rankings, and I kind of expected them to take a fall against a team. I just happened to be correct that it was week 1. We agreed on First Class. We agreed on Thugs. We agreed on Tedward. Those all won. We agreed on the Nades Nation Valorant. They ended up winning their game. Rain Above is who I picked. You picked at my Event Horizon Game Changers.
Oh,
Once
so
again,
really quick, not to cut you
yes.
off, but I do want to say is for both NBT and GC, I just want to say I'd pick them again. I know they lost. I know they lost. I'm still picking them, baby. They're still my teams.
I appreciate that. And I know the ladies appreciate the support too. I just had a feeling about Rain Above just from insider knowledge.
You did that. See, that
Though
is
I
not
did
a.
expect it to be closer than what it was. And then we also had the MBT and PhysX games. I had picked PhysX. You had picked NBT. Um, you know, it is what it is. PhysX wasn't originally intended to be that team, but I picked against NBT, and thus I was rewarded by the gods of fate.
It's okay.
And
Next week,
then
I guess.
we agreed on Cataclysm beating Comic Club Esports, but Comic Club Esports really strong showing that game. Definitely got to keep my eye on them for their future matches. Alrighty, so that led us to a 12-8. So for points, I am in the lead. We still haven't talked about what the prize is going to be for whoever wins. We'll come up with something. We'll come back with it for next week.
Oh, we do got to come up with something still, but I'm already done by 4.
Yes. We'll figure it out. Like I said, we'll talk about it off stream. We'll get something ready we'll start deciding for next week, and we can announce it next week's podcast.
Sounds good. I like that.
Alrighty. And then we are going into the standings. So you can see it on screen below my lovely face and covering part of Mech. We have the standings except for Sizzle and Chosen Ones. Like I said, I don't think there's many surprises there. You can sort of see how point differential, opponent win percentage is, and all of that. Like I said, I think ST Mob will shoot up next week. I would be very surprised if they don't win one of their 2 next weeks. If they do lose this next week, it's going to be a 2-1, a 1-2 loss. But I think that if they do win, they will shoot up in the rankings or the standings. Any thoughts on any of these standings? Any of the teams you see here?
Not really. No, I do think that the round differential kind of over. I agree with. I disagree with some of the like technical like power standings in Prometheus and Chronos. I'm not gonna get into it. It is interesting though to see how the point differentials work and all that, and I definitely am super excited to see how it goes. Just as you get farther into the league, how the words please. How the different maps and round differentials just play into seeding and all that kind of stuff, especially when we get down to the teams that are like maybe both 3-3 and 4-4 or stuff like that.
For sure. Alrighty. You ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Sorry, my cat's being crazy.
That's cute.
Week 2 games. So we're gonna pick our game. We're gonna pick games for everything except for Sizzle and Chosen Ones. Obviously, that's a week 1 game. So for week 1, we have Sizzle versus Hollowed Gaming, which is one of the Sizzle games we do get to pick on. I'm going for Hollowed Gaming here. I think this is going to be a 2-0. I don't think Sizzle is a very good team, and I think they're going to have to prove it to me first because we haven't seen any of them.
I thought long and hard about this. I really didn't know what I wanted to choose, but I am going to go Sizzle Esports, baby. It's going to be 2-1. It's going to be close as heck, but the upset is coming.
Fair enough. The next one's going to be really interesting. These are both teams that won in very convincing fashion this week. Rain Above versus X-Kane. I was debating on this one in my head. I did pick Rain Above in a tight 2-0. I think both maps are going to be close, but I think Rain Above takes it in 2.
So I can't say it anything better myself. Actually, I agree. I think Rain Above wins. I do think it's going to be good. I think X-Bane's going to put up a fight, but I do think Rain Above is just slightly better.
Alrighty. And then it is going to be for week 2, we're going to have Event Horizon Game Changers versus Rise Academy. I think the ladies will be very angry after their first performance, and they're going to want to show up and show out, and I think it's going to be a close one in 3, leaning towards Event Horizon Game Changers.
I disagree. I think it's going to be 2. I think EHGC, like you said, is going to come out and they're just going to ball out.
So we agree on EHGC, but not the score.
Yeah, I didn't think it's going to be 2.
Fair enough. Alrighty. And then for ST Mob versus Predator X Gaming. Tough one for Mob. Very tough one for Mob. They got a tough schedule. I will say, I think PXG takes this one. I'm not sure what the score is going to be. I'd say 2-0 favoring PXG, but we'll have to see. This will be a really good test for both teams because I think both teams are in the top echelon of the division that they play in.
So this is on me. I didn't really tell you I was doing this, but this is actually my personal match of the week, and I do think Mob's gonna take it in a very, very tight 2-1. Like we're gonna see an OT game. We're gonna see 10-13 barely a win. I think both of these teams are super good, but I mean Mob looks so good against EH, and especially in that first game, especially on Sunset, taking it to OT. And I do think because of that they can come back and they can win, and it's gonna be close. Am I confident on this pick? No, but it is a pick I'm making.
I think that's interesting. If Mob does win, it's going to be in 3 maps.
Oh yeah, I agree.
They can 2
No, I
PXG. I think PXG is too strong for that, but I do think that the PXG has some weaknesses.
And the other comment I want to make on that actually also is I do think if PXG wins map 1, I don't see Mob winning it. I do think Mob has to take map 1.
Heard. Interesting pick. Alrighty, this next one, we are gonna go for. I'm picking Comedy Esports Club. I don't think. I think realistically, Astro, they get destroyed by this team. I think this team is really good. I think Comedy Esports Club is going to have a strong showing this week, and I think they're going to prove that we should have ranked them higher.
Yeah, no, you say I can't say better than myself. Yeah, Astro's gonna get absolutely mollywopped here. It's gonna be free for comment. No offense.
Yes,
but it's just
this is my game of the week right here. Lag Esports versus PhysX. I don't think these are the best teams in the league, but I do think this is going to be a really tight game. I think this is going to be close. I think it's going to be hard fought, and I think whatever team wins is going to have a story to tell. Speaking of that story to tell, I did pick Lag.
Dude, really? Yeah. We can't pick the same team this week. I went 2-1, same deal. I thought they looked really strong after map 1 on I mean, heck, they should have won map 1. They were going to win, and then we had to come back. Physics looks strong. I mean, yeah, nah, I think Physics wins.
We'll have to see. Alrighty. Going on to the next game, Hijinks versus Vibin' Out.
I'm looking into your eyes for this one.
I did pick Vibin' Out. I picked Vibin' Out. We are going to be vibing into an easy 2-1 dub. They're going to play map 2. They're just going to pick a map that Vibin' Out isn't ready for. And that's the only thing that's going to happen. And I think map 1 and 3 are going to be dominant for Vibin' Out. And that's my prediction. I can't hear you, bro.
Oh, I'm muted. Whoops. I said I expect the pick, but you are wrong. It's going to be a 2-0, man. Come on.
So you agree on vibing out, but you...
Oh, yeah, it's vibing out. Come on, of course it's vibing out, bro. Vibing out's going 8-0. I'm kidding. I'm coping. I'm kidding. Anyways.
Don't take him too seriously, guys. Don't burn him at the stake. I need my co-caster. All right. All right, boy.
But no. Vibing out is going to take this in a 2-0. I'm not worried about it.
2-0. Wow. All righty. My next question is, who do you have for Sirens versus Poseidon?
So, like I said, in our recap, is Poseidon did get they got crushed, but there was a lot of rounds that they could have won if they just played it a little smarter, played it a little more together as a team, and because of that, especially with how bad Sirens looked, I do think Poseidon wins this. I think it's gonna be 2-1. I think Sirens gonna look a lot better. I think Poseidon's gonna look a lot better, but I do think Poseidon.
I think that both teams are gonna look fantastic this week, but I think Sirens are gonna win it in OT. I agree it's gonna go to overtime.
Really?
But I'm picking Sirens. I believe in these ladies picking up this week. I gotta support the GC team. You know, what can I say? They also have the better Trident logo. So
that's one way to pick your team.
Alrighty, we have Tedward versus First Class. I picked the overdog Tedward. I think Tedward really shows why they were ranked so high in our standings and beats a strong team in First Class. I think this one's going to be 2-0, but close.
So, I actually agree with you there. It's 2-0. Tedward Gaming's going to win. They're going to take it home. First Class is good, but they're not Tedward good yet. Yet. You never know what could happen. But I do think it's going to
Alrighty.
be a pretty cool.
After that is going to be Astro F8 versus New Mexico State University, NMSU. I picked New Mexico State. Something about their match, though they had a weak ascent, I think the other two matches showed enough against a good team where I think I can pick them over F8. F8 started off their first 4 rounds of both maps strong, but just dropped the ball. And frankly, I don't know if NMSU starts picking up some rounds, if F8's going to be able to keep up with that.
So, yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. I'm actually pretty good friends with some of the players over at F8, and I like them a lot. But I do agree with you. I do think New Mexico State, right?
Yep.
I do think that they are going to take it home. I mean, just for the same reasons that if they get on a roll, I just don't see a world where F8 can come back.
Alrighty. What are your predictions for the next game, though? Purpose Gaming versus NBT. Next best thing.
I mean, I think the next best thing is they're gonna win and be 1-1. That's what I'm gonna say. Purpose is a good
team.
team.
Get to 500. You think they get to 500 on Purpose Gaming?
Really
well, I'm gonna have to agree, and I'm actually gonna make the bold claim of strong 2-0.
I agree with that claim. Actually, I really do think that most of the runs they lost. I mean, they took a game from physics, but most of the runs they lost really were just timing and gels. I mean, they picked up a few new players. They're still getting used to those new players, and I think once that happens, they're gonna be golden.
Alrighty. Next game is going to be Full Tilt Esports versus Shaboing Boing. I think this one will be a close game, but I did pick Full Tilt.
Close.
Yes, I think Full Tilt, Shaboing Boing, Vibing Out, PhysX are all in that same bracket. But I definitely think that
respectfully, how are we going to crush Shaboing Boing and then be put in the same bracket as them? I don't really agree with them.
You went to 3 maps.
We went to 2.
Oh, wait! Did you go to 2? I'm sorry.
It was 26.
It's the brain. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. I understand it. Though.
I think Full Tilts and Vibing Out are closer in skill than Vibing Out and.
Okay, I can respect that. I'll take that.
I think generally they're maybe 10, 11, 12, 13.
Okay, that's fair.
Kind of.
I do think Shaboing Boing didn't. I think they're.
I think they didn't play up to their potential here.
Okay, that's fair. I do agree. Wait, who'd you pick? You picked Full Tilt, right?
Yes, I did pick Full Tilt.
Yeah, I picked Full Tilt as well. I do think it's going to be I think Full Tilt's just going to destroy them.
Next game is going to be Cataclysm Esports versus Rise Esports, and I, for one, think this is going to be the game of the week. I also, chat's going to go crazy. Picked Cataclysm.
That's great. That's a great
in
pick.
overtime.
That is such a beautiful pick.
Upset in overtime in 3 maps. It's going to be a fucking banger. And
you know why that's
tell you right
pick?
now, Cataclysm is going to have some insane moments to get them there. Their Bang TK is going to come out with an overtime 1v4 clutch to drag them over the finish line.
Okay, so you know why that's a great pick? You know why I love that pick?
Because
you just gave me a free win. And of course, I'm going with Rise. Rise is not going to destroy. Cataclysm, it's going to be close. I agree. But Rise is winning that, man. You just gave me a free win. Thank you. I'm just going to take it now. Appreciate it.
That's crazy. Well, I'm already up on 4, and I'm about to be up on 5 after the C1 Sizzle game, so it's all right. You can have one, but I'm telling you, Cataclysm's going to win. That's not the one you're taking from me.
We'll see. But moving on is going to be Chosen versus... Wait, did I write it? Wait, hold on.
Chosen
versus Nades. My bad, I wrote that. I read it wrong in my notes. And I am actually going to have Nades Nation winning this. Which I think it's definitely it's going to be a close 1-2-1. I do think Nades pops out. I do think they're going to come through barely, but they are going to come through. So I guess that's probably my upset.
I did pick Chosen Ones.
Yeah.
I think Chosen Ones, though we haven't seen much of them, I have seen them participate in some weekly and tournaments, and I think generally they're going to have the edge over Atlas. I don't know what the scoreline is. I need some more info on these teams, but I'm leaning towards C1 taking it.
I can respect that. I'm not too confident on my pick, but I'm going to stick with my pick.
Fair enough. This is an interesting one. We
have
the Virtuosity EH rematch, but with different rosters.
I do remember you talked about that on what was it, the first podcast, I think?
Yep.
And so I'll just take it away for you. Don't worry. I do think EH is gonna win. I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be super close, but I do think EH is gonna win. I
I
think it's
don't
gonna be
think it's
2-1.
going to be close anymore. I think Event Horizon just wins because they're playing against 4 new players in T-Bite.
Interesting. Okay.
I think
I
that
do like the
having to
confidence from the team.
field a new roster is just going to throw the round or the map for them. I think they might pick it up at the end of the season if they stay with a consistent 5, but the fact that they're mixing and matching players right now doesn't look great.
Okay, I got you. I guess then we can just move on to our final pick, and that's going to be Nades Nation Valor versus Thugs. And I do think Thugs comes out and wins this game. And Nades Nation looked really good. Don't get me wrong. Like the Val
I
that.
agree with Thugs, but I don't think Nades is gonna. I don't think Nades has it. I don't think. I think this is gonna be a clean 2-0 for Thugs. I'm sorry to say.
I do agree.
I think Nobu has his pop off game here, so he can talk all the smack he wants. And when he carries and match MVPs both games, I will give him permission to talk smack for a whole 3 hours straight. Unless he says something crazy, then I might have to watch it. But you can clip that, Chris. That's a promise to you. Alrighty, buddy. Any more thoughts on our pick'ems for this week?
No. Overall, I think we had what was it? I think we had like 7 or 8 of the same, and then 7, 8 difference. And
Yeah.
I can't believe you picked that many games wrong. I'm gonna be honest. That's kind of crazy. But hey,
You
you do
did
you,
pick
man.
a lot of games wrong this week, I will say.
Me? No, I'm talking about
Yes,
you,
yes, yes,
man.
yes, yes.
You,
No,
bro. Come
you
on.
picked a lot of wrong games. I'm telling you
All
right
right.
now.
Okay. Well, when the record comes out and I went 16-0, like I said, you're just gonna be flabbergasted, and I'm ready for it.
Alrighty. We are at our almost 1 hour mark. We have.
Oh wait, is this the time I get to? Do I get to plug?
I mean, if you want to plug, you can, but we're doing Q&A, boys. Let's
All right.
go
All right.
Q&A. What do we
Before we get to
have?
the
What are
Q&A,
our burning
before we get to the
questions?
Q&A, let me
Okay,
plug.
okay,
I
hold
gotta
on,
plug
hold
a
on.
little bit. So recently, as you guys saw, I picked Poseidon. I talked them up because Poseidon recently has come over the ownership of VO, so it is currently officially vibing up Poseidon. They've been picked up by us. I'm super excited to have them, and we're gonna do big things with them. So it's the next wave. What can I say? But that's all I gotta say. Is just they're under org now. So if you're wondering why you see vibing up Poseidon on Twitter or X or whatever the heck you want to call it, that is why.
Fair enough. Alrighty. Questions. What are the burning questions of our players?
Do we have anything on the YouTube or?
Thoughts on the timeout win rate of CEC being over 70%? That is a crazy stat. I will say that means that either the IGL or the coach for CEC is doing something right. He makes the right adjustments. But if they still didn't win after those adjustments, so they made the adjustments, they won the rounds, but they couldn't keep winning, maybe the team needs to learn to think for themselves and start adjusting for themselves and not relying just on the coach. Though they looked great.
Thoughts on Virtuosity being so
No,
ass like
one
crazy?
second. No, though
It's
they looked great against Cataclysm. They can't just rely on coach timeouts because if they can't adapt in the moment, once you use that coach timeout for that half, you don't have it anymore. You can't use it till next half, so you better hope you got enough rounds. I wouldn't say Virtuosity is ass. I think that's a little bit of an overstatement, a little bit of an ego stroke. T-Bite has been in the scene for quite a while. I'm sad to see that they couldn't keep their roster after one loss. But I think that that's a little bit of an ego stroke, and I think that a lot of the people who are strong egoed are going to get made fun of when they lose their game, lose a game. So, just where it is. I had an idea of this after playing with you guys in 10 mans, but I did see you guys being a lot better than I predicted after that. But I will say that you guys do have an ego problem. Love you guys a lot, but maybe tone it back a little bit because when you guys crash, it's gonna hurt. Not that you guys are gonna lose a ton of games, but when you lose a game, it's gonna come as a shock.
yeah. No, I mean yeah. That's I got nothing to say. I'm gonna keep my dog out of this fight.
Any other questions we have here, boys?
That's kind of what we're waiting on right now. Was there any? Because you said
Well,
there was
Banksy,
nothing.
I'm not talking about you. You're just a yapper. I'm talking about the other people. We got some some egoists in this
Oh,
Discord in this league.
wait.
So
Okay, so I'm not sure on the validity of this, but while we're on the subject of egoist, I have heard. I'm not sure if it's true, that the person that came onto our stream, Cairo, and talked all this big game about how good Caesar was going to be, he's going to be the MVP, has recently been benched for another player.
oh.
Yeah. So I was talking about this, and I don't know if I'm supposed to leak this or not. If I'm not supposed to leak this, my fault. But he was benched.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, if he
'Cause he was
doesn't
looking to
start
try
week one,
yeah.
he's gonna get made a fool of.
Yep.
Oh,
And if I'm not supposed to know that, well,
no.
then sue me. But
Alrighty, Mech. This is a good question. Who do you think the grand finals of the league are? Like, who's gonna be in the grand finals, and what's the score gonna be after week one?
oh god.
What's your overreaction Monday on a
you-
Thursday?
Okay, so question. Are you asking me in the sense of what I want or what I genuinely think?
Genuinely think, like, what is, like, after seeing the week one games, who are the best two teams and who's making it there all the way?
Okay, so this is completely on me for not knowing the what's it called? The help me out. What's it called? What are the two divisions? The divisions.
Cronus and
But
Prometheus.
best two teams
Here, I
in the
can pull up
league.
these standings. You can see them. You can see them right now.
Yeah, if
on
you
the
can do
stream.
that for me, that'd be great. Awesome. Okay, so coming out of Chronos, man, this is hard. Man,
Cronus is a really strong division.
I'm gonna have
Don't
to
get
go
me wrong.
Rising.
Prometheus is strong too, but I think Cronus got stacked a little bit more than intended.
Man, because what's hard for me is I want to say it's Rise Thugs, but they're in the same division. So I'm gonna have to go Rise, and then I'm gonna have to go. Man, Prometheus is such a toss-up. Like it's crazy. Like this is crazy to say. This is crazy to say. I know. And like
You're
there's a
gonna
bunch
skip
of guys
on
here.
Cataclysm,
I don't know, man.
dude. No, they're like the only like out of those teams. They are more clear cut like in the top echelon than the rest of that team. The rest of that division. I'm just gonna say
I wanna.
It's PXG and Cataclysm, and then I think everyone else is miles off.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. Cataclysm versus Thugs, or
I would
Cataclysm versus Rise.
say I think PXG will beat Cataclysm in the regular season, and then they'll get cocky in the postseason. That's kind of my
For me,
thoughts.
I'm just looking at Prometheus, and besides Cataclysm, I feel like there's no true number two. Like obviously you have Hallowed up there at the top, but I definitely think they played a weaker team. Vibing Out and Physics are both up there, but Physics played a team with new players. Vibing Out played a team that just didn't have a strong showing. Nays Nation Val played a team that was asleep. You can go over to the people who lost. Rise Academy, who isn't an awful team.
I also have to put on CEC. They deserve to be in that conversation too. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm still processing this entire week, so it's nothing. If I don't mention your team, it's nothing personal. I am still processing. I'm very sorry.
So it's really just it's a toss up for Prometheus in my opinion. I can't give you a solid answer.
Alrighty, I'm gonna give you two scenarios. Scenario one is gonna be it's either gonna be for Cronus. I'm gonna be a homer. I'm gonna pick Event Horizon as scenario number 2. Scenario number 1 is gonna be Rise Esports. I think those two are the best two. Third place would definitely be Thugs for me, but I think Rise is the most likely. EH or Thugs are tied for second, third there. I think Tedward could definitely make a run. I don't know as much about him as I do the other three, so it's hard for me to pick them after week 1 still. Going from the Prometheus side, my top 3, my most likely is going to be Cataclysm with a very, very, very close PXG. Do not get me wrong, very close. I think that your matchups will go either way. Please don't bite my head off, but it's just how I feel. I know Tedward played good against CG, but I am based. And then we're going to go for number 3 is going to be Comet Esports Club. I think another team that could possibly sneak into late playoffs is going to be Vibin' Out or PhysX or Xkane, but we need to see more weeks. But right now, after week 1, it's Kata, PXG, CEC, that order.
Okay, yeah, no, like I said, for me, I'm a very big analytics guy. I'm a very big. I need multiple weeks to show, so I can't give any good saying. I need to see more from every team before
Yeah.
I can say anything substantial.
Anything else we have for questions? We had some good questions today. Anything else before we wrap
Hmm.
it up? We can go for another 20 minutes if we have the questions for it, but I'm not going to drag it on. So, I'm going to give you
Hold on,
guys
really quickly. Hold on.
yes.
I don't know if you looked already.
My favorite skin.
Okay, yeah.
I am a Champions fan. I am a huge Champions fan. I run all the Champion skins on Cycle. I have all the knives, all the Vandals. I have the Phantom. They look really good with my Premier Champions buddies. What can I say? Yes, Comedy Sports is good. Definitely better than the ranking. Definitely should have been placed higher. They could have 2-0'd Cataclysm, but they didn't. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Didn't happen, so it doesn't matter.
Also, the best skin in the game is Araxis, by the way.
I do like Araxis. I do run the Araxis op as my go-to op, though I do enjoy Stiff Dragon sometimes just to piss people off. I've had the dragon skin since it came out, so.
And then also for is Comet Esports good? Yeah, they're really good. They're gonna keep showing up. And do you think I have an ego, Hunter? You have the biggest ego ever. Yep. I don't know who that is. I have no clue who that is, but I'm just gonna say it. You got an ego.
Ah, dude.
How
Thanks. See, if I was 3-2, I'd still be taller than you. It's all right, buddy. I'm not though.
Ben Mackay. What's wrong with? Yo, so I messed with a soccer skin. Actually, soccer skin is hecka underrated. I actually first skin I ever bought.
For non like if we're looking outside like the obvious ones, I think Sakura is fantastic. That's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, I love Sakura.
You know, I do also really like the arcane skin. It used to be the goated sheriff skin that got replaced with Neo Frontier. I still really like arcane. I actually have a really good battle pass buddy that goes with it, so that's kind of like been my go-to ever since I've got it. Oh yeah, hold on. Let me pull up Twitter. Let me give everyone a shout out who worked on our games this last week. Let me pull this up right now. I'm not gonna put put it on screen because I just don't have the ability to do that. But we're going. I'll pull up each one and I will tell you who we had this last week. So we had for the Wednesday game we had Maverick, Sleepy Boy, Ancient Angel, and Omi. Thank you very much for coming in. For our Tuesday stream, we had T Hyatch, we had Sleepy again, Omi again, and then we had Rager Plays. For Monday's stream, we had Chippy Omi again, doing a lot of work there. Nerd Corner, Joel, and Senta. Senta also observed there. He also gives Senta a round of applause for all the work he does in the background. We had some interesting casters here for the Sunday games. We had for casters, we had Ronick, Bobby, Neb, Rager Plays, Adam, some common names there. We had for producers and casters, we also had Strange Op and Nick, and we also had Sater as a caster as well. Big props to them. They had a really good Sunday. They had probably the best production of the week. And then our Saturday, if I can find it right here, we had me, Zan, we had Claire, Duo Cat, Camcar, Nick, Senta, Cross, Sater, Ancient Angel, and Penguin. Thank you to everyone who made this week so special. I couldn't have done everything without y'all. And I can't wait to a better week 2 going forward.
Wait, hold on. Also, what do you expect for the comps on Icebox? So
Viper's coming back. It's gonna be.
I got you. I'll help you out.
Controller Viper, or is it gonna be double controller Viper?
It's gonna be double controller, especially with just how the map is now, with how many different places there are. You gotta go double controller. Probably double controller. You'd go like a Sova, KJ, and then probably like a Jet or Phoenix for flashes. I don't know. That's actually a horrible comp. I'm not gonna lie. The most I think the obvious comp is probably gonna be like an Omen, Viper, KJ, KO, Jet, KO, Raze, something like that. Something along those lines. I'd assume that's kind of the base comp that people are gonna go with. Who is the biggest ego? Oh, that's a great question. Cairo.
Maybe. I don't know. I think he's a little bit more aware than we give him. I think he just likes playing the villain.
Not Banksy does have a huge ego too.
Yeah. Well, I think Banksy's a yapper. I think his team has an ego. I think that's going to do it for us. So, I just want to say thank you again to everyone being here, everyone interacting with the socials, everyone, enjoying the games and showing up. We peaked at 89 viewers on Saturday. I'd like to try and break that. Let's break 100 this week. If we can break 100, we can probably get more sponsors. If you guys keep keep interacting with our Twitter, more sponsors, we can do more fun stuff. We can do giveaways. We can get better quality streams. So, just keep that in mind, and I will let you guys know when we start posting on TikTok. Alrighty. Once again, everyone, thank you so much for coming in. Mac, do you have anything to say for our final goodbye?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna say what they said. Thank you very much. I appreciate you letting me be here, Pulsar, because I like cheeseburgers and that's what you pay me in. So can't wait for those.
I
And
told you end of the season, did you get 4? God damn it! Why do you keep adding cheeseburgers to our agreement that weren't there in the contract? I wrote it in ketchup on your wall. What do you not understand? Oh,
What can I say? I like my cheeseburgers.
you even missed last week. I should deduct a cheeseburger from you.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh. All right,
Hey,
boys.
on a serious note, though, thank you guys all for supporting the league. I love being here. I love being a part of it, and I'm excited to see what comes next.
Wait, Mac, before you go, do you like pickles?
No.
Well, there's going to be lots of fucking pickles on those goddamn burgers. Alrighty, peace!